What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. I hope you're doing great. Now after 7 or 10 days or something like this without uploading a video due to Christmas and all these things, etc, I'm back with a new one. I had a great Christmas. I hope you too. I hope that you didn't eat too much, that you can still sit on your desk and do the work that you have to. And yeah, I hope that you will enjoy this video today, because we talk about a super interesting topic, something that pretty much everyone or that I get asked every single day, and it's about the perfect niche. It's about the perfect e-commerce niche, the perfect Shopify niche, how to find it, and especially whether there is something like that. So I just saw a question on Quora where someone asked, like, can you give me the best niches for 2019, right? And it's something that I see all the time everywhere on Facebook and whatnot. And I just decided that I want to make a video about it, because it's something that so many people are interested in. And in this video I want to talk about like whether a perfect niche exists or not, and what you should do and how you go about it, and some like how to work in the niche in general. So just my tips and my ideas on that exact topic, and I hope that you will in the end like what I talk about. So the perfect Shopify eCom niche, right? It's something that everyone wants to know if this exists, and you see all those gurus like selling the list, etc. And the question is, what's actually the best niche? So what is really something that people refer to as the best niche? Because is it like a niche that is super big, that has like millions or billions of potential customers, or is it something that has the most passion, like probably pets or something like this, where people go crazy about the products because they really love their pets or something like this? Well, I believe that most people refer to it as the easiest, right? So we have supply and demand in the favor of the demand. So where you have only, for example, 10 stores selling something, and you have massive demand for these products, or this product line, right? And this is something, I think this is what it's all about. People want to find niches where very few people are selling products, but a lot of people want to buy these products. And I think that this is something that is extremely hard to do, that is very tough. So finding a low competition, high demand niche is extremely difficult, because remember, you have hundreds of thousands or even millions of dropshipping businesses, and especially also e-commerce businesses, and many of them try to do this exact same thing. And it's very unlikely that you heard about a niche before someone else had, right? I mean, sure, you can find great products by accident, right? Or by really researching all the time. Probably you stumble upon a product, and this one product will do well, and you will sell a lot of it, and it's a winner. But this won't happen with a niche. It's not that out of nowhere you see, oh, there are like garden tools, and garden tools is something that no one sells online, so I want to do it. This barely happens, like probably in 0.001% of the cases, right? And this is the thing here, niche. And what I can say though, so you may now think, well, that's terrible. I thought that you would have now come with 2 awesome niches that I can use in 2019. But what I can say though is that there is no niche that is profitable per se, right? So when people think about great niches, and you see all those gurus like saying, hey, here's a PDF with 350 niches that are all awesome, normally niches aren't profitable per se. And people think that there is some magic twist to a niche, and if you join that niche, if you operate and sell in that niche, you will automatically make sales, or it at least will be so much easier. Now, after I worked with so many different clients, so many different businesses, and I had stores in multiple niches as well, I can say that something like this just doesn't exist. Sure, there are certain niches that are a little bit easier and some a little bit harder, but it doesn't justify like switching your niche just because someone told you that this niche is like easier to make sales in. And let's also have a look at an actual example here, because I think this is very important for you to understand, especially if you start out, or if you're thinking about eventually switching or whatnot. Let's take the yoga industry. I use yoga a lot because it's a super common thing these days and super popular. And we can say that the yoga industry is a huge market, right? So there are a ton of people that are interested in, I don't know, yoga mats, yoga classes, yoga pants and equipment and clothing in general and all these things. And it's definitely a multi-billion dollar market with millions and millions and millions of customers. Also, people spend a lot of money in there. So there are certain yoga mats that sell for a ton of money. There are certain yoga pants and brands and leggings and whatever that are selling for a lot of money. Yoga classes can be very expensive. Yoga trainings can be very, very expensive. And people spend a ton of money in this market. And also, it's a pretty passionate industry. So it's not super boring. People usually do it because they love yoga. Sure, a few of them just do it for health, but most of these people are not like robots that sit there and just think about how they are improving their body now by doing yoga. The majority, I think, they like it and they are passionate about it, and they like buying cool yoga stuff for their training, at least if they do it seriously. And by looking at all these things, you might probably think, well, that's a great niche, right? So you might think, well, yoga is something I should go into, ton of money, passionate, huge market, everything that people tell you is great. So why isn't it a good niche per se? Why don't you say, go in the yoga industry? Why doesn't a guru come and tell you, hey, go into the yoga industry and dropship yoga products? Well, probably some people do, but I definitely don't. And it's because of competition, right? So when you have all these things, there is a reason why there are like tens of thousands, or I don't know how many businesses in the yoga industry selling all these kind of things. You have thousands of different yoga mat types and brands and whatever. And basically you have brands and businesses for every single yoga product under the sun. And this is what is basically true for every single niche out, or at least for many niches out there. And the point is that if you now try to do the same, if you want to jump into the yoga industry and you have a boring store with like everyday yoga products and a normal marketing strategy, for example, running like $5 per day Facebook ad sets with yoga interested people, and then having an ad saying, hey, we have $10 off or something like this, I can say that by 99.9% chance you will just fail. And this is all because of a mix of how great the niche is and, you know, how much potential it has, graded by as I said, the number of potential customers and the purchasing power and how much they want to buy this stuff and how passionate it is. And on the other hand, the competition. So you have yoga stores doing all kind of things. You have yoga stores on Instagram, on Facebook, on Etsy, on Google, wherever, on YouTube. And if you do this, what most dropshippers do, boring store, everyday yoga products, normal marketing strategy, normally also like just these boring images, etc., this will just fail. So you know, thinking about this is pretty much true for every store. If you don't want to go into the pet industry, it's pretty much the same thing. So it's all about executing it the right way. It's not about picking the niche. It's not about picking like, oh, yoga is the great niche I should get into. It's all about actually executing well in this industry. And this is why I believe all those these niche lists, now I got it, these niche lists are pretty useless. But here's what you could do instead, right? So let's say you are actually interested in yoga and you want to go into that market because you see so much potential in there. You see that more and more people will do it in the future. As I said, probably you have personal interest and you do it yourself and you think that you could be a good store in this niche. So here's what you could do. Instead of just choosing the yoga niche because of the niche and then going with this super boring, simple marketing strategy, you could do something like, first of all, deliver a free yoga guide as a PDF or video training. So you could say, hey, for every single product, you could do like a header bar somewhere and say with every single product that we sell, you get like 18 different yoga poses with images and how to do it or whatever it is. Or you get a video, like a 30-minute or 1-hour video training showing you different poses and how to do that, or the best way to, the best warm-up training, or whatever it is, right? It could also be something fun that is actually not that serious. It could be something helpful. It could be whatever you may think of. And this is just one little thing. Now, this, of course, won't make you $1 billion store or $1 million store just because of that one thing, but it can definitely increase your conversions, and you will at least do better than thousands and thousands of other stores that are just super boring and have nothing special, right? So this is one advantage already. Another thing is that you could, for example, only source mats of a certain niche material. So you could say that you are only sourcing mats from one certain material because this is something that people are interested in, and some of the big stores, they probably offer these mats, but only a few of them, and you say that you specialized in these things. So you specialized in mats from material X, right? And of course, now your market becomes way smaller, but it's at the same time, you probably have like only a handful of competitors, if any, that are doing that. Now, every other yoga store has some of these mats, but you only have them. And people who love that material, they will now eventually learn about your store and you have more chances of selling. So again, yoga, the yoga industry is pretty tough, but you really dealt with the yoga industry long enough and you really thought about how to stand out and what to do and how to do well, that you came up with this idea of this particular material, and then you do it that way. Another thing would be that you could, for example, post exciting yoga content on Instagram, like some weird poses that you thought of, or some just general funny yoga pictures and yoga in unique places and whatever you may think of. You don't have to come up with something super out of the box. Now, of course, this would be ideal, but I know that's very hard to do. But the point is that if you post that content that is a little outside the box, that is a little different than what all those other yoga stores post, this is already something that helps you stand out. So if people see that you're always posting these like funny yoga pictures and these crazy poses or whatever it is, right, they have a reason to follow you and eventually also check your store out, especially if you then eventually have a store about that is taking yoga not too seriously for those that are just starting and they don't know if that's a cool thing yet. So you have those experts that are doing yoga every day, and then you have those that just want to try it out, and you do it in a fun way. There are so many different ways to do it. And another way you can stand out or you can do better is by offering an excellent pre-built support bot. So on Shopify, for example, you can build bots with Tidio and several other things and several other apps where you can then say people can click on certain questions and they get some responses. And I did that with a client just recently. They built a very awesome bot on Tidio where people can just get there and they, depending on which product they clicked on, they have multiple questions available and they can ask, hey, what is the material of this mat? Or, you know, how big is it? Or some other questions, and you click on it and you get a reply, and it's very easy for people to learn more about your products. And this could be another way to stand out against your competition and, you know, do better than them, and in the end also sell more products. Another very important thing is that you can use multiple traffic sources. If you are one of those dropshipping stores always advertising everything with Facebook only and always, you know, $5, $10 per day Facebook ad strategy, this can work, but chances are that it won't actually work. And if you use multiple traffic sources, you almost automatically increase your chances, because probably Instagram just doesn't work with your business, or probably Facebook just doesn't work with it, but Google works great, or probably it's the other way around. Now, of course, I'm a huge Google fan, and I'm always telling you guys about my training, the eCom PPC Academy, for people that want to kickstart their business with Google Ads. But the point is, even if you only use Google Ads right now and it doesn't work that well for you, then think about Instagram. Or if you use Instagram, then think about Google. I believe that all of you should have tested at least 2, if not all 3 of those that I just listed here. But of course, there are also more than these. There are also free traffic sources like the Instagram strategy, as I just talked about and also made a video about it. Also like Reddit, Twitter, whatever you may want to use. These 3 are the ones that I use the most, with Google being by far the first at the moment. But yeah, the point is that you really think about that. And in the end, you know, there is just much more you can do. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You don't have to come up with the most unique website on the planet and have the craziest marketing strategy ever. If you just do some things that others don't, you already have a chance of actually selling more. And you don't need to become $1 billion business. If you just make like $1,000 in sales per day, or 10,000 or 50,000 or something like that, this is already pretty awesome. And you know, this can definitely be done in almost any industry if you think about these things that I just talked about, and don't just always focus on what niche should I go into, test it for a few days. If it doesn't work out, just jump to the next niche, and it doesn't work out again because you never give it enough time to really work out. And it's definitely not that easy that you will find a winner within a week and then it's a good niche, and if you don't find a winner, then it was a bad niche. So definitely keep these things in mind, because in the end, you can have even like a dead market or a super saturated niche or whatever it is, and you add a twist. As I said, one of the things that I just mentioned, or there are thousands of other things that you can do, and it can still be a very successful business. But what definitely won't happen 99.99% of the cases, that you take a market, yoga, pets, whatever, you build like a boring Shopify store in 10 minutes, you just want to get started, just want to make money, you go to Facebook, you throw in $50, you expect sales, and you won't get any because it's just not how it works. So sure, this thing here is much more work, but at the same time, I guarantee that it will yield much, much better results at the same time. So ultimately, I hope that so far you liked it. Let me know in the comments what, how you picked your niche, if you run a niche store or maybe a general store. Maybe you don't agree with my points here at all. And now I want to give you a few points to remember at this point. And this is, first of all, there are good and less good niches, but it will depend on your execution by 95%. So sure, there are probably easier niches than yoga or pets, but in the end, it's all about how you market your products, how you design your store, how you do all these things. And this is a pretty good thing because it means that it doesn't matter which niche you picked, even if you like fully decided on one niche already and now you think it was the wrong choice. If you are creative, if you test multiple things, if you learn new things, if you apply new things, then you have a chance of still being super successful in your niche that way by, just doing some things different or just better than others. Then people who have no idea how to sell yoga mats probably also don't know how to sell pet products. So if this is what I just said, let's say you build a yoga store, it doesn't make any sales, it just doesn't work, and now you say, okay, I just go into the pet market with the same marketing strategy because yoga doesn't work. The yoga market is broken, it's saturated. I go into pets, I go into, I don't know, smartphone accessories, right? If you do it that way, I promise that most likely it will never work because it's not the niche, it's normally how you approach that niche and how you work in it that makes it not work. And then also, as I said in the beginning, be skeptical when people sell you like these 100 awesome niches, right? When there is a guru that tells you, hey, I have this awesome PDF with 57 awesome niches you have to try in 2019. If you do them, chances are very high that you will make a ton of money. I can promise if there is something like a great niche, which happens like it feels like every 10 years or something, where it's definitely easy to make sales, then this person will not give it away. Sure, probably the niches in these lists are a little easier if you have absolutely no idea what to do whatsoever. Probably it's some sort of first thing to have a look at. But they are definitely not great niches per se, because as we just discussed, it's all a matter of supply, demand, competition, what ideas you have, etc. And if you apply these typical $5 per day Facebook ad strategy things to one of those 100 awesome niches, it won't work either. And think about how you could really market within a niche more than about the niche itself. So don't waste 3 months about thinking about your perfect niche. Rather waste, or not waste, but spend a few hours or 1 or 2 or 3 days thinking about the perfect niche for you, and then strategize on what actually to do in that niche. Like, how could you separate yourself? How do you plan your social media stuff? How do you go with your Google ads? How do you build your store? Do you use a bot? Do you have, as I said, like a free ebook, free PDF, free video, whatever it is, or maybe just something more personal, whatever it is. But these are the ways you make a niche work for yourself. And this is how you then build an awesome business with it. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful. It was very strategic on a very high level, but I still think and hope that it was helpful for you and that you can actually execute on these things, even though they were so macro and so strategic. But yeah, as I said, let me know in the comments what you think about them, how you approach this whole niche thing, and whether you have a general store. And of course, as always, if you are in a niche and if you want to make more sales and you want to use Google Ads for this, which I absolutely recommend as one of your main traffic sources, make sure that you check out the eCom PPC Academy in the description. We are a group of over 250 e-commerce entrepreneurs selling products with Google Ads, and it would be awesome if you join us to take your e-commerce business to the next level. Now, this being said, guys, I really appreciate you for watching this video. I hope that you will subscribe to not miss the next one. And yeah, in case I didn't make it until the 31st with the next video, I already wish you a happy new year, but probably and most likely I will be back with another video in 2 or 3 days already. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.